Hello, we're back.
Live?
This sounds real.
This sounds real, yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to another live stream. Happy Friday. I think we got everything sorted out. Last week we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Something with the bit rate and
We don't know.
stream the data.
We're gonna be honest, we don't know. But it's working today.
It's working.
The good old turn it off and then turn it back on a couple days later.
Yeah.
The good old troubleshooting technique. Apologies on my end because I'm not really sick, but just kind of protect everybody else. Got this mask on. I'm feeling a little bit better. Voice is I think a little bit stuffy, but I think I'll make it. I'll survive.
I hope so, because I'm not doing this by myself.
I'll be here. It's a team effort. But yeah, I think we're gonna do the same thing as we did last week. So last week we were supposed to do an AI. We're gonna ask ChatGPT to build us a PC completely from scratch. Obviously that didn't happen last week, so we're just gonna do the same thing again this week.
Yep.
But it should be fun. I mean, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. I don't know like how.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it exactly as ChatGPT tells us.
Exactly as we're told, basically.
Yep.
And it could be different from how we do it from our standard, right? But it'll be interesting to see.
I'm Ernest, the first time PC builder today.
Okay, so I guess we can start. So how we put the prompt in, I think is important, right?
Yeah.
So I'll ask should I say I'm a first time?
Show your screen?
Yeah, you can show the screen. The ChatGPT screen. So I'm gonna say like I'm a first time PC.
I'm a first PC builder.
I'm a first time PC builder.
Or why don't you just put it, help me build in a Corsa.
Help me build inside a Corsa desktop.
Yeah. My parts are.
Oops. Sorry, my typos. My parts are
850 watt modular power supply.
850 watts, 800 watt power supply.
Put modular.
Should I say modular?
Yeah, I didn't see what it does.
I'll just be specific, right? Might be better. Modular power supply.
14.
And so as he's reading the parts out, these are also the actual parts for the customer build.
Yeah.
Right. So
14900K.
1400K. Nice. Yep. Should I put Intel 1400 Intel Core?
It should know, man.
Intel
If it doesn't know.
14900K.
Asus Prime Z790P D5.
Wait, hold on. Slow down a little bit. Asus Prime, what?
Asus Prime Z790
Z790.
D5.
Okay.
All right. And then 32 gigs, DDR5,
DDR5,
Kingston Fury RGB.
and then 4080 Super.
Nope. 2 terabyte Samsung 990.
Okay.
And then 1 terabyte.
1 terabyte.
Digital Storm M.2. And then 4080.
RTX
4080 Super.
4080 Super. Right.
And then
So I mean, this PC is a pretty high-end build, right? It's pretty powerful stuff.
wait.
So we got all the parts in for.
I didn't say we were done.
Oh. What else we got?
360 millimeter AIO.
All in one, or should I just does it know what AIO is?
It's not that stupid.
I have no idea. I mean,
it should be fine. All right, and then also ask us to give you the steps one by one.
Okay. Could you give me the steps on how to build a PC?
Do you guys have any predictions?
Step by step.
Should be pretty good. I mean, I took a look earlier and everything seemed...
I'm just gonna read this prompt again, just so everything's clear. All right. I'm a first-time PC builder. Help me build inside a Corsa desktop. My parts are 850 watt modular power supply, Intel Core 1400K, Asus Prime 790 D5, Z790 D5, 32 gigabytes of DDR5, Kingston Fury RGB, 2 terabytes Samsung 990, 1 terabyte Digital Storm M.2, and an RTX 4080 Super.
Very good.
Sounds good?
Yep.
380 AIO. Could you help me build?
360.
Oh yeah, 360. Oh.
You just
360.
can't read. It's fine.
Could you give me the steps on how to build a PC step by step? We good?
Yep.
You ready for this?
Yeah, presenter.
See what happens.
Well, we got one step done, which is panels are all off. So
All right, preparation.
I can't.
I'll bring it closer.
Just make the zoom larger.
Is it larger? Oops. What's this?
No idea. Yeah.
All right. I'm sure you have all the parts, tools, screwdrivers, and all that. Do you have a anti-stack wrap, sir?
Nope.
I guess we failed.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Yep, we got workspace clean. Install the CPU on the motherboard. That's first step.
All right. So I have my motherboard.
Gently place the CPU in the socket and secure the retention arm.
Here to tell me to open the retention arm.
They did. Open the socket on the Asus
Why are
Prime.
you skipping steps? How am I supposed to know what to do?
I'm assuming too much.
I
open?
want it word for word.
Okay, open the socket.
Okay.
On the
And I
Asus Prime Z.
gently put it in.
Gently place the CPU in the socket. That wasn't gentle. I want it to see gentle. A little soft touch. Soft touch. And secure the retention arm. There you go. Next step, step 3. Install the M.2. Locate the M.2 slots on the motherboard. It doesn't tell you like to unscrew anything, but I guess that's self-explanatory. Just locate the M.2 slots, install the 2 terabyte and 1 terabyte into their respective slots.
So we will defer to the way we do it.
So normally, would you put like the higher capacity on the top
Depends.
slot? Or
So when you select the M.2s, you select an order. So whatever order you select your M.2 storage is, that's the order we're going to install it in.
okay,
So
so which
on
order?
that order, it was the 2 terabyte first. So we're going to go with 2 terabyte first.
Oh, by order you mean like the customer order?
Yeah. So like you can select up to like 3, I think, or something. And then if like they put the Samsung one first, then we install that in the first slot. If
How
they put
often-
the Digital Storm, it's in the other
I mean,
slot.
I'm not sure if you know this, but how often do customer requests like, oh, can I have the OS installed on the 1 terabyte and then, leave the 2 terabyte kind of open? You know what I mean?
Not as often because most people only order 1 and not 2, but we do get it sometimes where it's like, hey, can you install it on the 500 gig,
Yeah.
not the whatever,
So
just to be sure.
that's what I would do. If I have a 500 gigabyte M.2, I'll put the OS on that, which, kind of leaves that as a dedicated operating system drive. And then everything else would be for general storage.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do.
Okay.
I mean, it also depends, right? You want to put the faster drive on the first slot, usually, unless it calls for something else.
Right. And the first slot is usually faster than like the rest, right? So that is the Samsung then.
Yeah,
Samsung.
it's the Samsung. They want the Samsung first.
Nice. Very good.
I'm just gonna throw all this stuff on the floor.
As long as you
can
clean it up
pick
later.
How good are the steps that ChatGPT will do easy?
Well, I mean, we're just in the beginning right now. So I think at the end we'll kind of do our evaluation.
I
So, I mean, so far it's okay. This is pretty standard steps,
is that somebody's car? You guys probably can't hear it, but we hear like something that sounds like constant farting outside.
Sounds like Rico's car. If it stops, then it is Rico's car. Yeah, it is Rico's car.
Well, coming through the wall, that's what it sounds like. All right.
I guess
I'm
Rico's
ready
taking off for the day.
I was probably going to lunch. Next step, please.
Okay, install the RAM. Locate the DDR5 DIMM slots on the motherboard. Align and insert the Kingston Fury RAM sticks until they stick into place. It's pretty cool. So it tells you which slots to use. Well, it says use slots 2 and 4 for dual channel, but it's not.
This
It's
is
not.
right.
But it's not 2 and 4 though.
Well,
Right?
I guess if you're counting left to right, all right, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 2 and 4.
Wait, but these aren't like listed 2 and 4.
Now, technically, it's A1
Yeah.
and B1, but
But I mean, yeah, it's It's pretty good if you're counting.
Pretty close,
1,
right?
2, 3, 4,
Usually, yeah, most people will count left to
Yeah,
right. So
yeah. That's pretty cool that I added that step because most people might not know. If you're a first-time PC builder, you're not going to know which DIMM slots to install in. You might just do 1 and 2.
So you won't have that problem if you just get 4 sticks. Just fill all of them.
Yeah, just get 4 sticks. Go. This is 64 gigabytes total, or
Yeah. No, 32 total.
32. Okay.
32.
Yeah, 64 gigabytes on 2 sticks would be kind of crazy.
We do that all the time.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of crazy to me.
All right.
Okay. So ready for next up?
Yep. Let me just clear.
Step 5. Attach the motherboard standoffs and install the motherboard. So on the course,
Motherboard already comes with
yeah.
them.
On the course, the standoffs are already installed. So just screw in the motherboard to the case. Let me organize these for you. You got the accessory
Wait a
box?
minute. It didn't tell me. Did it tell me to put in the IO shield? Oh, with the IO shield. Oh.
Yeah. I'm just reading the step 5 step right now. Like there's sub steps.
Gotcha.
Okay. So prepare the course by attaching the standoffs. We already did that. We got that already. Carefully align the motherboard with the IO shield and screw it into the standoff.
Carefully align the motherboard with the IO shield. Everything needs to be done carefully.
So the next step is kind of, I think it's kind of different from our standard, right? Installing the radiator, AIO.
No, we can do that next. I think a lot of people build
Yeah,
that
I'm
way.
gonna grab that for you just so you have everything.
Oh,
Actually, just bring the whole thing.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you might as well. And then you can give me this stuff.
360. So I think it goes over how to install the fans too on the radiator. I don't know if it's going to assume like the fans are pre-installed or anything. But we'll see when we get to that step.
All right, here we go.
So I guess some other kind of topics of discussion. I mean, I kind of want to ask you because I'm kind of interested in Diablo 4. I know the DLC kind of came out recently, right?
Mhm.
Last week or this week?
Last Tuesday.
Have you been playing?
I have.
How do you like it? You were showing me. I think last week you showed me some gameplay, like the numbers, the damage output people are doing are like in the millions, and so like when they run quintillions,
it's gotten really bad.
yeah. So when people are running around, if you guys are familiar with like Diablo type of game, it's
Top kind of like a 3 point. It would be 3.5D. It's like a top-down roaming style.
and there's like
RPG.
hordes of mobs.
RPG.
Action RPG, yeah. There's hordes of mobs everywhere, and you're just kind of like going around killing everything.
Yeah.
And as you do, all these numbers are popping. Your damage numbers are popping up. And
Oh yeah, they fixed that. So before they would actually show every single digit. So like if you're doing, I don't know, like 100 million damage, you would see 9 digits, right? But you're not just doing 100 million off of one hit. You're doing it off of like 30 hits at the same time sometimes, and then it's just numbers. You don't see anything but numbers.
Yeah.
You don't even see the mobs. They're just numbers.
That's what you showed me last week on that video. And
Yeah, they fixed it. Sort of. I mean, you still see numbers, but it's just like 1,000K or like
I think
200M.
yeah.
So it's the number's a lot smaller.
Something more simplified. I think that's pretty cool. But that's satisfying to see those numbers pop up, though, right?
Oh yeah, it's nice. But it's much easier to see what kind of damage you're doing because there's no like actual damage number tracker. You just have to look at the screen and hopefully you catch what you're doing.
How do you like the game though? Like, would you recommend it for someone who? I got burnt out from Diablo 3, right? So I'm not really
recommend it. Depends. If you're like a hardcore ARPG player like Diablo 2, Path of Exile, no, you won't like it.
Okay. I put in a lot of hours in.
You're very casual. Yeah, you'll like it because it's much easier to like reach end game versus like those games, right, where you have to put maybe tens of hundreds of hours in.
Okay. So did you carefully align the motherboard with the IO shield?
Yeah.
Carefully? Did you carefully do it?
Paul is asking if that's an LTP screwdriver.
It is.
It is.
It's very dirty. Don't get the white one. And this one is the retro one, but I don't know if you can see. It's freaking filthy. like, yeah, it's filthy, man. Like,
I mean,
there's scratches and there's dirt that just gets stuck in those like micro scratches.
It's white. Anything white is gonna. How do you like it though? What's your review on it?
Is it worth $70?
$70?
Probably not. But I bought it, so I'm gonna make sure I get my full $70 out of it. You know, like, it's nice to have, but it's definitely not something that.
I mean, how's it different from any other ratchet screw?
Out of the box, it's pretty good. Like, don't have to do anything. There's another one that I think is like $30. It's like the Xiaomi screwdriver. It's like a Xiaomi ratcheting screwdriver. That one is actually really good for the price. It's like $30. You can find it on sale for like 15 sometimes. Oh, it's so good. Like $20. It's almost comparable to this.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're a huge Linus fan, like we are, yeah, I think it's worth it just to have something Linus branded.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things. Is like, it's a nice thing, but you definitely don't need it. Especially like, I'd say if you're not using it every single day, don't buy it. It's not worth it. You know, if you just like every once in a while you upgrade your computer, you know, every 6 months, maybe to a year, and that's when you use it, probably not worth it. You're probably better off with like a cheap from Harbor Freight.
You could use a ratchet screw for anything though, not just computer work. So if you should work around the house a lot.
In general, right?
Yeah.
But
all right,
a set from Harbor Freight would do the same job.
Step 6. You ready for step 6? Installing the 360. Okay. Decide on the mounting position for your 360 AIO, top or front of the case, depending on preference.
We're gonna do the top.
That's because what we do, right?
Yeah. For this case, at least, it gives us the most clearance for GPUs. Because
attach the radiator using the screws provided. Install the AIO pump onto the GPU, applying thermal paste.
Did it say GPU? Oh,
CPU. Sorry. Connect the pump and fans to the appropriate headers. So it doesn't go over like
the very specifics.
Yeah, like installing the fans on the.
I'm gonna make my life easier by doing this.
Should we not?
Should we not install the fans?
Should we not do that stuff? It didn't say to do it, so.
Well, why don't you ask it? Be like, what do I do with the fans? On step 6, what do I do with the AIO fans?
On step 6, what should I do with the AIO fans?
We have thermal paste here from last time.
Determine fan orientation. Okay. Decide whether you want the fans to push air through the radiator or pull it.
Okay.
Which one do you want to do?
We're doing push.
Push. Push. Push. Through?
Yeah. So
exhaust or?
So either it's pulling air through the radiator or pushing the air through the radiator. So if it's pushing, then that means the air is going through. So right, but if
exhaust then.
Pull, then it's going.
Exhaust or?
Yeah, that's gonna be exhaust.
We're exhausting the air out.
If some people want to see the instructions, is there a way that we can put it like maybe in the chat or in the comment of the live stream?
The instructions, like the ChatGPT instructions?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just copy and paste it.
Oh, it cut off.
And it cut off install graphics card?
Because after, I guess, I don't know.
Oh, that's probably the next step. And just ask it for the next step when we get there.
Okay.
You want to put that in the chat then?
Put this in the chat?
Yeah, that's what they're asking for.
I could put the prompt in the chat, or can we?
No, it's gonna give them. It gives everyone usually a slightly different.
So we could put this entire list after we're done, because we're not done with the list yet.
That's true. We could do that, right?
Yeah. So we'll make an edit to the description of the VOD, and you guys can just check out the VOD to see the. It's gonna be a pretty big list. But
it's already
asking ChatGPT to use the instructions step by step, right? So it's technically not finished with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are we at?
Step 6.
Decide whether you want the fans to push air through, intake, or exhaust. So we're exhausting. Generally, if the AIO is mounted at the front of the case, the fan should act as intake.
But we're using the top.
We're using top, yeah. So yeah.
What else does it say? Keep reading it.
That sentence?
No, just keep reading. Don't stop.
Okay. If mounted at the top, they should act as exhaust.
There you go.
Attach the fans attach the fans to the radiator.
Okay.
Align the fans with the mounting holes on the radiator. Make sure the cable side of the fans faces the motherboard for easier cable management.
That's smart.
Is
They
that
actually tell you what to do with the cables. Otherwise, you're like putting the cables everywhere.
is that how it is for you right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. Actually, I put it in backwards.
All right. I mean, yeah, we should probably just follow it.
No, that's pretty good because like that sort of information, as a first-time builder, you might.
Yeah, you
overlook,
wouldn't
right?
know. Yeah.
You're going to install the fans however you want, and then the cables are facing out, and then now you have cables going everywhere, running everywhere, looking messy.
Pretty good tip. Use the provided screws to secure each fan to the radiator. Mount the radiator with the fan attached.
Okay.
After you screw everything in. Need help?
Late.
I'm not gonna help you.
Why are you offering then? That's kind of mean. I'm just gonna go slower.
Well, yeah, I mean D4. Yeah,
D4.
kind of Diablo 4.
4.
Kind of interested, but not
Yeah,
really.
I mean, I think it's a good time to play. The game is not nearly as broken.
Honestly,
it's
you know,
fun.
since it's like nearing Halloween, I've been wanting to play some scary games. I was thinking about getting Silent Hill, the remake. See how it is. But
I heard there's the original Silent Hill, and then they remade the game recently. Or like, is it a remake or a remaster? It's not a remake, right?
remaster, I guess.
Is it?
Remaster is considered what, like new graphics and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
the game, everything is exactly the same. Is it a? I thought.
it's
I'm not sure.
it's considered a remaster, I guess.
Or is it a?
Better graphics, right? I think quality of life changes.
Did you
but-
give me that thing?
What do you say?
Oh no! Forgot about that.
Is there another one
Nope. You want me to ask someone to bring one?
here? Ooh, Jose's out here.
David's here.
Okay, let me slack him. You want me to slack him? Is he on Slack?
No.
Oh. Attention to detail, sometimes not always there. All right, so what step are we on? Mount the radio with the fans attached.
Mount the radiator with the fans attached.
Position the radiator with fans in the chosen mounting location, top or front. It's gonna be the top for us. Use the longer screws that came with your AIO to secure the radiator and fans to the case. What's interesting, it says use a wait.
Huh?
Those aren't the longer screws though.
Read it again.
Use the longer screws that came with your AIO to secure the radiator and fans to the case.
But we're just securing these because we're.
But we use the longer fans to secure, or the longer screws.
Yeah, we already did it.
Yes, but it's interesting that it points it out though, to use different size screws.
Yeah,
But did it?
these aren't going to go through your fans and the radiator, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that I think you can kind of infer on your own. But still, it's very detailed.
Yeah. So far, it seems kind of
Stop
detailed.
doubting
yeah.
it. It can hear you and it can understand you. You treat it with respect.
That's what happened to previous life.
Hey, I will beat up Skynet. I'll punch it in its face.
Hey, did you see that article where the creator of the Terminator series, like joined ChatGPT or OpenAI?
I mean, he's just
And
what,
the
is the
memes.
author or
Yeah, the creator, I think, or something. And
Yeah.
then just the memes that came out of it saying like he's joined
I mean, he probably wants to get more ideas for
Skynet.
for like future books or is Terminator based off a book or is it just a movie?
I think it's just the movie.
Toss it over, David. Just throw it over. Just go ahead and throw it
well,
over.
I guess you can throw it.
James Cameron, right? That's the
Lord
director.
of the Rings that
That's
the guy?
that's the director for Terminator.
and Lord of the Rings, right?
Thank you,
Thanks,
David.
man.
Thank you, David. You're a lifesaver.
Okay.
What do you say?
He said he's not available for the next 15 minutes, but after that, we can rely on him for more stuff that we've forgotten.
Are you going on your break? No break for you. Yeah, we know what the hell we're talking about.
Terminator. I
Yeah, I think
it's just
James
the movie, right?
James Cameron made the movie. The director for Lord of the Rings is somebody else.
Doesn't it? What else has James Cameron done?
Titanic.
Okay, what else?
Just box office.
Just hits after hits. What hasn't he
I
done?
don't know any directors
Okay.
at all.
You just
I
need to
barely know the actors,
You
man.
just need to know PC. That's all you need to know.
I know Tom Cruise.
That man's a beast. He does his own stunts.
Yeah, that guy broke a lot.
Okay.
All right, what is it saying next?
Position radiator and chosen mounting. Use the longer screws. Okay. Connect the fans to the. Well,
Cut the fans?
it says connect the fans.
Oh.
Well, it says to install this first, though. Still on the case. And then. Well, I'm not sure if it knows that we're using this case specifically.
You put it in the prompt, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tomori, totally related question. Since you mentioned, so you know how AI is now in everything, is in voice and chat models and all that. So what if it was an AI that it was like especially fighting? You could fight it.
There's an AI for fighting, like a robot. What's that group called? Boston Dynamics or something? They make robots, right? They could probably make a fighting AI.
Would you fight it?
I'd take that shit down.
You sound like the majority of men think that they can be a lion.
Yeah, I can. I'll choke a lion out.
You would get destroyed.
Connect the fan to the motherboard or fan hub.
Take my snips? Oh, never mind.
Do we have fan hub installed yet?
No.
But we will though, right?
Yes. I can put one in right now.
You want to do it right now?
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Route the fan cables through the case for a clean look.
Okay.
Connect the fan cables to the appropriate fan headers on your motherboard or to the fan hub. It says Commander. I think that means Commander Pro.
No. No Commander Pro here, though. Just our RGB hub with fan control.
Armando doesn't believe that you can beat
Who?
Armando.
Armando who? Armando who?
Arroyo?
Arroyo?
Mm-hmm.
I'll beat Armando Arroyo up.
Oh boy.
Ensure the fan headers or hub are controlled through your motherboard or software for proper speed control.
Hey, where's the cap? Oh, what? Hang on. I'm not even done plugging it in. Talk about something else.
So, I mean, talking about Silent Hill, though, like, it was part of the news articles we have. But it came out last week, I think, that, like, modders were already kind of adding mods to the game. I think that's pretty, exciting because, like, it just kind of gives a sense of, like, how powerful PCs can be or how much utility a PC can have, right? Not just, it's not just playing games. You can use it as a creation tool or something. And the fact that these modders are like, or these people are like kind of making mods already for this brand new game. It's I think it's a good testament to like how strong, I guess, the
Strong
PC
enough to beat up a lion.
Yeah, the whole PC gaming community was a PC master race. Take out a line, easy. Take all the lines. But yeah, it's a good testament to PC master race community.
I don't want to be part of that fight.
I think they removed the fog and the restrictions for the camera.
Yeah, I mean, just like
quality of life improvements that should have been added, but they weren't.
Well, I mean, the fog I think is to add to the aesthetics of the game, is to kind of make it more creepy. But I mean, just the fact that people are making these mods for a brand new game, it's pretty cool. Just the ability of what people can do.
Very good.
On a computer, with a computer. Interesting stuff.
There is a community that was searching like after the release of
Shadow Colossus?
Yeah, their community spent like 10 years looking for an additional boss.
Oh, the final Colossus?
Oh, just make sure you're talking to the mic. Just ask chat if they could hear you if you're talking.
If you can hear me, chat.
Just want to make sure.
But yeah, they spent like 10 years after the release of the game, like looking for these additional bugs that doesn't exist.
Allegedly. All right.
Yeah, allegedly.
It's not proven until it's proven. I mean, the fact that the developers have the developers said that it doesn't exist?
A developer's lie.
The developers lie, apparently.
All right, I'm done plugging things in.
Okay. Step 8. Install the power supply.
Wait, was there a step that told me to install the AIO pump yet?
Oh, I thought you said you're done.
I'm done with what you told me. Did you tell me to install it? Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
All right, cool. Let's go. Power supply, you said. Give me the power supply. Gonna let it be there, I guess. Or let me put away these mounting brackets.
Oh yeah, it doesn't go over like the actual brackets removed, huh, for the IO.
Yeah, I think it assumes that you just have it. You wouldn't.
But I mean,
normally you wouldn't need to buy an extra bracket, right?
Right, but all AIOs come with like AMD or Intel backers, right? AMD and Intel backers, so it doesn't tell you which one to use. Is this bracket?
Yeah.
You can save this for later.
But there's on the. Ow!
We're definitely gonna need to put that
All right.
cooler on.
This is.
Prepare the PSU. Ensure the 850 watt modular power supply is set up with the necessary cables. 24 pin ATX, so one 24 pin. 24 pin ATX, 8 pin CPU. PCI cables for the GPU.
Doesn't use PCIe.
Okay, not needed. And then SATA cables if needed. So it seems like you only need the 24 pin and 8 pin, right?
I need a 24 pin SATA.
My nose is running, guys.
You're too excited.
I apologize.
CPU cable. 12-volt high power.
High volt?
Is it high volt? I thought it was power. Isn't it high power?
I think it's high power, yeah. I thought you said high volt.
Sometimes it's hard to plug it.
And then no SATA?
No, I plugged one in first. Oh.
Let me know when you're done plugging those in.
You can have that back.
Because the next step is mount the PSU.
All right.
Insert the PSU into the PSU shroud area at the bottom of the core case with the fan facing down.
Whoa.
If the case has ventilation below, or up if there is no bottom ventilation.
All right, it's in.
Okay. Secure it with screws.
Secured with screws. 4 screws.
Then after that, connect your cable. Let me know when you need the next step, sir.
So it says connect the cables.
Well, no, that's just a
the title. Got you. I'm ready.
Begin routing the cable through the back for a cleaner look and to prepare for connection.
Okay. Done.
Okay. Connect the front panel cables.
Okay, front panel cable.
Locate the front panel cables from the case, power switch, reset switch, USB, audio, etc.
Oh, all of them.
It says to refer to the ASUS Z90 manual.
Wrong word. Plug it.
Huh?
Okay.
To identify the front panel header pins and connect each cable accordingly. Connect USB cables and the HD audio cable to the respective headers on the motherboard.
So far, do you think this is a good guide for someone who doesn't know how to do a computer?
Yeah, it's easy to follow. I mean, like on this step, the step we just did, it tells you to refer to the motherboard manual.
Because
which, you know,
every single motherboard is different.
Yeah, which is always good. So it's.
But I mean, I wouldn't leave this just hanging there. I would just finish it.
Did you take the thing off?
Yeah.
Any things he left.
I mean, what if we get to the end and it's just like, it never goes back?
I don't think it's gonna go back. It definitely should have told
us. It
us.
doesn't say like install this.
I mean, it didn't say anything about installing it to the CPU.
Attach.
It's saying just attach it to the case, like this radiator to the case.
Okay, dokie.
I mean, if you guys are hoping that ChatGPT gives you
close enough. I mean, right? Like, wouldn't you install it afterwards after you find out? Like, oh, hey.
Yeah, it's close enough. I mean, I think we can't give it a rating just yet because we're not done. But I think
But
so
so
far,
far,
it's
I
all right.
gave it a
He
B.
gives a
No B plus or minus, just a B.
All right. So are you done with the cable routing? Oh,
Almost.
after that it says install the GPU.
All right, give me that GPU.
Do you have a blade? Never mind.
Nope. Use your hands. You said you're gonna be the lion. You don't get a blade.
I can't choke out these little paper tapes.
Rip the box.
What is this? PNY?
Yes, sir. POI 4080 Super.
I'm liking these PNY GPUs. They're very
Subtle.
subtle, yeah.
Some of those other brands don't exactly look good. I think the golden age of like design wise, for me at least, was the 20 series. Once they hit 30 series, I think the GPUs just started to look really stupid.
You seen that Asus ProArt 40
That
series?
one actually looks really good.
Yeah.
I don't really like the way the tufts look or the strix.
Yeah, I mean those are more gaming focused designs, you know what I mean? For I guess that's what gamers like, that kind of hardcore
I think they're ugly.
techie, huh?
I think they're really ugly.
I mean, it's subjective, right? Design is subjective.
My opinion matters.
You
The
don't
one I'm just trying to take off the hand stickers.
Oh, they don't have tabs on them?
No.
Asus ones have tabs, so much easier.
They're also much thicker stickers.
Thicker stickers?
Yeah, they're thicker, so like it's much easier to get your finger under them.
But not these ones?
Oh my god, I got it.
Okay. Prepare the PCI slot. Unscrew and remove the PCIe slot covers that align with the GPU slot. Typically the second and third slots from the top.
Also
Pretty good.
true.
Pretty good.
So first and second.
We usually keep these, right, and give it to the customer.
We try to.
What's the purpose of that?
Just in case they want to put them back in, or take out their GPU, not run a GPU.
What happened?
I only take out the first and the second, or the second and the third, but this is a 3-slot card.
It doesn't. Yeah, well, it doesn't know how many slots.
Well, tell it. Tell it. My GPU doesn't fit. What do I do now?
my GPU is. What's the proper way? My GPU is a 3-slot.
Yeah. What now?
What now?
It's probably just gonna be like, just remove the third slot, dummy.
Since your GPU slot is 3-slot model, you'll need to adjust how to prepare the PCIe slot area. Here's how.
It literally just says remove the third.
Yeah, but it gave the full steps afterwards.
All right. Well, now we're cooking with fire or whatever. A hot plate.
Push the GPU firmly into the PCIe slot until you hear it click into place. Did you hear it click into place, sir?
I did, but I think that's also misleading because some of these new motherboards don't actually click.
You feel it though, right? You feel like a click.
Sometimes you don't. Like sometimes it's very smooth and you don't know, and if you push too hard, something's gonna break. But it did say firmly, right? Not like until. Well, it said until it clicks. So what if you push it
Well,
until the motherboard actually clicks in half?
It says push the GPU firmly into the PCIe slot.
What if you
Until
break the motherboard?
Well, then
That could happen too.
Secure the GPU. Use screws to secure the GPU bracket onto the case. Make sure all these slots are secured properly to keep the GPU stable.
You know,
Okay.
that would have been much easier with GPU out of the case.
What?
Putting the GPU sag bracket in. Is that what it said, right? The sag bracket?
No.
No?
It says use the
Oh,
screws.
okay, never mind.
Okay.
What?
Connect power. Attach the PCIe power cables from PSU to the GPU. Make sure all necessary power connectors are firmly plugged in.
Did it tell me to connect the motherboard power yet?
The 24 pin and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
So it's gonna be a combination of ChatGPT error and then user error.
There's always user error. Why isn't it turning on? I didn't plug anything in.
All right. So after
I can't get my fingers
Wait a
back
minute.
here.
Oh. Wait. Oh, so after the GPU was plugged in, then it tells you how to connect your remaining power cables.
Oh yeah,
So-
user error, huh?
Yeah, user error. Yeah.
Yeah, huh? You
24
didn't even
pin,
tell me to do it.
24 pin, 8 pin, and SATA Molex if needed.
You didn't tell me, and you're trying to blame it on me.
It said to pull the 24 and 8 pin, all that. So
It said pull it to the back, which we completed.
So right now you're plugging in the cable.
Well, I'm trying to get that 4-pin cable in the corner, but I'm determined to do it this way instead of unscrewing something to get it in, because
On
the
the topic of
determination
what do you
is
think
key.
about the mod that Activision added to Call of Duty that basically watches your match, your playthrough, and reports you if you.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I think that was pretty interesting, right? So basically what the mod does, it like monitors voice chat, I think, and it'll pick up, apparently, according
Racial
to
slurs and stuff.
yeah, according to Activision, it'll pick up the tones and certain words, right?
What if you say like, "You're doing a great job," like that, like really angrily?
Well, according to Activision, it picks up the words too. So how the words are used and the tone.
Oh.
So it apparently could detect that.
I'm not doing
That's
this.
according to Activision. But it's supposed to be used as a moderation tool to it doesn't actually ban people, I think. It just kind of flags them for an actual human to kind of
Oh, I see.
to look into
It doesn't
more.
auto ban. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, do they even have enough people to look through all of those clips?
I mean,
That's the thing, right? Like,
I think.
you need real people to moderate that.
Well, apparently they've been doing this since 2019, I think. So it's been going on for a minute.
I guess it works, right?
I mean, I guess I haven't played Call of Duty in so long, but usually those lobbies are pretty wild.
Toxic.
Pretty wild lobbies in there.
How was the fun of the game? Is that?
But
right.
yeah, apparently they have AI to kind of moderate all that now. So, I guess just the idea of incorporating AI into the game in that aspect is pretty cool. Because like I always thought AI would be included like in like Skyrim, like prompts.
Somebody did that as a mod.
Yeah,
You seen that?
I haven't seen it, but something like that.
It's some of them get really bad. So basically, the guy took his chat. He allowed his chat to put in like submissions of what AI would say, or like what the
characters would say?
Yeah, some of them are not PG because obviously it's the internet, right? Like who doesn't want to troll?
Who doesn't want to troll?
Yeah, because like he's opening the floodgates to troll.
Yeah, I mean, content
on
is
him.
content, right?
But it is hilarious because they say it in like that typical, like the Skyrim's like, "Oh, how's the weather today?" Except they're saying like, I don't know, stuff.
Continue. Go and say it.
You guys can look it up yourselves.
Yeah, but
Can't get banned by that, but it's just AI doesn't apply the ban.
oh yeah, the actual AI, the actual Activision AI won't ban you, but it'll flag you as like a
Someone to look at it.
Yeah,
right?
someone to look into, which is cool. Like a auto mod, like a advanced auto mod kind of thing, or voice chat specifically.
I think that is cool.
I mean, at the end of the day, like AI, I think we're still in
Infancy.
the kind of Wild West, right? It's still very new. So the implications and the implementations of things could be
Application.
so different.
All right. Give me the next step.
Next step. So you just finished installing or plugging
Cable
in
management. Right?
You just finished that?
Yep. I skipped it.
Okay. Install additional fans if applicable.
No extra fans.
Extra fans, test the build. Straight up test the build. Let's see what happens if we turn. What would happen if we turn it on right now?
The CPU might kill itself.
All right, let's not do that then.
All right, I guess we're done.
Let's say, should I say you forgot
Wait.
or we forgot? We forgot.
No, you should say
True.
there's some things you forgot.
There is some things you forgot. How do I install the CPU cooler from the AIO onto the motherboard?
It's probably not going to give you definitive answers. Probably be like, look at the manual.
I'm using an Intel 14900K. Installing AIO CPU block pump. Apply thermal paste if necessary. We don't need that. Prepare the mounting bracket.
Paste is pre-applied. That's why we don't need it. It's not that we don't use it.
Prepare the mounting brackets. Most AIO coolers with the Intel specific bracket come with the Intel specific bracket. Check your AIO manual. Oh yeah, it tells you to check the manual. So for a beginner, obviously always use a manual. Like this, a manual is like probably your go-to guide. ChatGPT is kind of like the supplement to everything else.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you don't know in which order to go, I think it's a pretty good one.
Yeah. But you don't think it will like ever replace?
If somebody uploads every single manual for every single product ever made, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe if it could give you those manuals like straight up, I guess it probably could.
I just asked it to look up the manuals for.
Yeah, I mean, it might be able to. I think it could. Because it can read like web pages, right? But
some, I think. I can't read all of them.
for now, I think it would be a good way to tell you which part to start with. Like, obviously, we follow it step by step. Don't have the CPU cooler mounted, or the front fans plugged in, or the rear fan plugged in.
Good thing.
So,
yeah, I mean, good thing you're an expert at this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might just turn the PC on without the cooler installed.
I don't think anyone's that dumb, right?
I mean, you never know. That looks normal to me. Just hanging out like that. Well, that looks fine to me.
Oh my god.
Position the CPU block pump. Place the AIO pump block unit onto the CPU, aligning it with the mounting post. Sure, it sits evenly and securely on top of the CPU. So you're installing the post right now, right?
I am. I'm installing the brackets.
Yeah, so there's a step where I skipped that step, but there's a step for it. Secure the mounting post backplate.
So you skipped it.
I mean, I see you doing it already, so.
Oh, no, I mean like way before.
Well, I mean, after you do the brackets.
I thought you just straight up skipped it. All right. So after that, mounting bracket.
Position the CPU block pump.
Okay.
Aligning it to the mounting post, ensure it sits evenly and securely on top of the CPU.
Okay.
How often do you guys do you always use a pre-applied, or do you guys?
It depends. We always check to make sure that it's not extremely dry. In this case, it's not bad. It's pasty. If the thermal paste is extremely dry, then we'll just replace it.
Okay. Okay. It's just sitting on there securely. All right. Secure the CPU block pump using the provided thumb screws or screws that go onto the mounting posts.
Okay, thumb screws are.
And this part is important, and it's pretty cool that it mentions it. Tying the screws in crisscross pattern. Example: top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left, to apply even pressure across the CPU. Pretty cool that mentions that.
Yeah, it's very important because the reason why is if you apply thermal paste and you just tighten one side first, you have a chance of like, if that thermal paste is in the middle, let's say I tighten my left side down first and it just squishes the thermal paste across the right side of the CPU, and on the left side there's nothing. Now you get overheating. But it's also important when you do that crisscross pattern that you don't tighten one screw down all the way and then go to the other one. You want to thread all, your two screws in and then tighten one a little bit and then move across to the other one so you continuously have that even pressure.
Very good. Next step, be careful not to over tighten, as this could damage the motherboard or the CPU. You see if you can procure the manual. If you don't have that, that would be cool. See if you can procure the manual.
What? Oh.
We have the manual for these motherboards and all that.
We don't have.
No, we don't have. So we don't have the manuals for the motherboard or the AIO because we get those in bulk.
But the motherboard boxes.
It didn't come in a box.
The motherboard didn't come in a box?
No.
Oh.
We'll get those in bulk.
I guess we don't have it.
So it's not like retail packaging. That's why they give us the accessories. Yeah. But I mean, you can just look it up if you really want to look it up.
Yeah, so
Z3 or Z790P motherboard manual should be online.
What's it called?
Oh my god, look at all those tabs.
Where's all that?
Are you looking up the AIO?
Z790?
Yeah, Z790 D4 or D5, sorry. Or actually, you don't need to put D5. It won't have D5.
I think he wants us to ask ChatGPT so he could generate like an.
Oh. Yeah, you can ask ChatGPT.
Oops. Could you
find us the manual for the, I think it's the Master Liquid 360 this one is.
You want to do the AIO or motherboard?
Yeah, just AIO. We're done with the motherboard.
What's it called? Master Liquid?
Yeah, I think so.
360?
360,000?
Can you find us manual for that's it?
Yeah. It should be able to. No, well, it doesn't give you the manual. It just gives you
steps.
Yeah. Oh.
But it does give reference to where it pulls these steps from. So
yeah, it tells you Cooler Master, or you can go to Tom's Hardware to see where it got that information from. Yeah, that's nice. All right, what's next?
I already know where we were at.
Connect the pump header. I'm at that, I think.
Okay. Locate the pump header on your motherboard, often labeled as AIO pump or pump fan.
Okay, AIO pump.
Was it labeled for this motherboard?
Is called AIO pump.
AIO pump, okay. Connect the pump cable from the AIO to the headers to ensure the pump runs at full speed.
Okay.
Huh?
Just read it out to us.
Who will strangle who? Mass mustache versus none of those?
None of those?
It's just the mass mustache. So funny.
Nobody's strangling anybody here. We're all friendly here. No, there will be no strangling going on this stream. Not this stream. Maybe next week.
For Halloween?
Yeah, maybe we murder somebody for Halloween.
I don't think you say that word. All right, what's next?
Okay. If your AIO has RGB lighting, connect the RGB cable to the appropriate RGB header on the motherboard, such as, is there?
It is, but it's our connection.
Okay.
So I will.
Or RGB controller, if you're using one.
Oh, perfect. What about the fans?
I think it was on here.
The front fans? I don't think you asked it. I think you asked it.
I also have 3 front fans.
3 front fans. Yeah. I was probably just going to tell me to plug them in. You know, the more we go with this, the more I feel like you should probably just watch a YouTube video on how to build a computer. Just because there are some things that you learn or can learn better by watching somebody do them.
You gave us 2 responses.
What 3 responses would it possibly need for just plug them in and cable manage them?
So determine the orientation if you want it.
Already done.
Okay. Attach the fans to the front of the case. Already done, right?
Yep.
Connect fan cables.
Okay.
Route
See?
the fan cables through the case cable management system to keep them tidy and out of airflow paths.
Very easy. Already done.
Connect the fan cables to available fan headers or on the motherboard. If you have a fan hub or controller, connect them there instead for easier management.
All done.
You did that already?
Yep.
If using a hub or controller, connect the hub to the motherboard header, chassis fan. Where does our control board connect to?
We use CPU.
Is there a reason for that, or?
Yeah, because we normally will just do the AIO fans as well, so that way everything will go there. Because by default, chassis fans will always run a little bit faster at, like their default speeds, and some motherboards have their default speeds set to like 70 or 80 MSI. That's you guys. We do adjust the fan speeds, right? But the other thing is every time you update your BIOS, all of those BIOS settings are wiped.
Right.
So it reverts back to that, like,
even if you save it as
really-
a preset?
so it gets wiped, and then your fan speeds revert back to like, oh hey, your CPU is at 30%, like 30 degrees, but your fans are at 70. Why? I don't know. Just because.
That's the default settings.
Yeah, with CPU, it allows it to go up and down a little bit more, right? More freely, right? So you got, I think the lower limit of like those normal curves for CPU fan is like 20 or 30%. So it's going to be pretty quiet if your computer is quiet. And
Right.
then when it needs it, it'll ramp all those fans up.
Okay.
And your GPU is not going to get hot, or you won't need your chassis fans until you need your CPU fans too, realistically, right? Because like if your computer is cooler, you don't really need your fans. Once it gets hotter, then you can move all the air at once.
That's good advice. Check
Oh,
and manage.
fans.
Huh?
I said I don't like loud fans.
I don't either. I hate loud fans. Check and manage RGB if applicable,
Okay.
which it is, right, for this case?
Yes. It is managed and it is checked.
Okay.
It is hopefully functioning.
Test and adjust fan settings in BIOS software. We're not there yet, right?
No, we don't even have a monitor.
So
So for the building part, we technically are done. I think.
You done?
That's pretty much it, right? Like, get the fans in, get all connections in, which they are.
okay, yeah. So the next step for us would be install. It says right here too. Install the case side panels. Very good.
And
Is there anything else you want to ask before?
I have a GPU side bracket. What do I do with that?
I have a GPU sag bracket for the Corsa. What should I do with that?
It's probably going to tell me to refer to the manual to install it. I can already see the answer.
Identify the mounting location.
Okay.
Most GPU sag brackets are designed to be mounted directly onto the case, either along the bottom near the PSU shroud or on the side where the GPU mounts to the PCI slots. So I don't know if you want to show chat. So it's saying it could either be mounted right here or right here. Right?
Over there, right? I wasn't really listening.
Most GPU either along the bottom near the PSU shroud or the side where the GPU mounts to the PCI slots.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Check
yeah,
it.
they have the ones that attach right here and then go across and hold it up this way.
Yeah.
And then they have the ones that are just like, you just shove a bar right here, basically,
Yeah.
and it just holds.
That's what we have, right?
No, we don't use those. Like, if you just put a bar right here, like,
Oh, yeah.
it's the bar that
Not the
holds-
vertical
yeah,
bar, but
yeah. We have one that goes a different one. It screws into the standoffs. So, and it uses the very small, like, L. to hold
So
that
I think that's the
in
next
place.
step right here. Check if the sag bracket uses screws to attach to the case or if it's adjustable and needs to be positioned underneath the GPU. Adjust the bracket height if adjustable.
This would have been much easier. The GPU wasn't in here already.
You got it in there though, right?
No, Not yet. You see this? I need to get this behind the GPU. Luckily, I know how to do it. But
Yeah.
would have been it. Like, this is something that should have been taken care of before the GPU went in.
Okay. So minus 10 points.
Yeah.
Secure the brackets. If the bracket attaches to the case using screws, line up the bracket's mounting points with the corresponding slots or holes on the case and secure it with screws, using screws. If the bracket is freestanding type, sitting on the PSU shroud or the bottom of the case, which ours isn't, ensure it is stable and doesn't shift once in place.
You know, Asus makes a RGB
Seg bracket?
GPU seg bracket.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like $50.
I mean,
Does it look good?
does it?
It looks okay. But then again, you know, like most cases don't even have that much space under the GPU, right? So
But it's adjustable.
like it wouldn't
right?
even fit. No, it's huge. Like it's actually
It's not
massive.
adjustable.
It is adjustable, but it's massive. Like it's massive. Like if you wanted to put fans under here, that sag bracket useless.
Yeah.
You can't even get it in.
So this type of mounting style would be better.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Because we can still fit fans under there.
Yes, sir. So I already know that I need to adjust this a bit because we've run into this issue in the past. Need to cut the rubber in half. Otherwise it touches the fan.
Okay. And that's why you're the expert. It's true.
Yeah, we've had it happen. It's just like you hear this.
Yeah, it's hitting the fan. Yeah.
Like, what's going on? It's like,
Yeah, that's the noise you love to hear on a PC.
it's supposed to sound like you're starting a generator. Okay.
All right,
No.
so should I ask it like, we're done?
Oh, we need to put the side panels on.
Oh, the top panel too?
Where's the back panels?
Oh, the we can do that later.
Now. All right.
The vanity plates.
Oh, wait.
We'll slap this front panel on. Did this customer get a UV print?
They did, I think.
Really?
I think so. Tribal lines. Not that one. You don't have it.
It was here.
No, you have the Aventum one.
Oh, this one. Tribal lines.
Oh.
Wait, we just take this one and put it on.
Now you're gonna help me.
Oh. Right. So I think, should we ask it the next step? Like, we're done building. How do we check if the PC posts? Should we ask that or?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's good to know. How do we check if it posted without a monitor? Yeah,
Without a monitor?
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to ask? Chat?
Nope. I think we're
Let's
done.
see.
Right? It's just we just want to figure out like, hey, what if I don't have a monitor right now? I still want to check to see if it's running.
How can we check if the PC posts
Without a monitor.
without a monitor?
Specifically without a monitor.
Listen for beep codes if your motherboard supports it.
Nope.
Check the motherboard debug LEDs.
Nope.
There's none on there.
Nope.
Check the RGB or indicator lights on the motherboard.
Nope.
Listen for the fan.
Oh my god.
Operation.
The fan, what if
Observe the power button and RGB on the case or GPU.
Nope.
None of that?
None
Nope.
of these work? None of these options work for us.
Well, I mean we could listen to the fan, but I don't want to.
Is
I forgot to
there
connect this.
another option?
Forgot to connect this.
What is that?
The RGB board.
Use a post diagnostic card.
Oh, okay. Nope.
Use remote access software. Connect a secondary display.
Get a monitor.
If we don't
Get
have
a
a
monitor.
first display, how are we going to connect a secondary display?
Use motherboard speaker if available. Check USB activity. Okay, so how do you normally check then?
I just tried to turn the PC off.
Well, I mean, explain it. Can you elaborate, like, how this? What are we supposed to look for?
So this was taught to me by Jose, our
Okay.
productions manager.
Okay. Your master.
Basically, yeah.
Can you move a little bit to the left?
Your master, Bishang.
Oh no, the computer.
Be more specific. So basically, posts, if the computer will accept your commands, which turning the system on and off is a command. If it turns off, it posted because it's accepting commands. If it doesn't, that means it's not accepting commands and it froze somewhere or something's broken.
So if it turns off immediately after you press it again.
Yeah, well, you should, like, you know, the typical amount of time it takes. If it's like the first post or something, it's like RAM training or whatever, right? Memory training. Wait like 30 seconds, press the button. If it turns off, you're good.
Okay, we'll go over this step when we actually turn on the PC. We gotta find a
Power cable
for you. Yeah, we have a power cable here. We do have an extra long power cable.
Yeah, I can't see.
I'm gonna drop it here. I'll be on the other side real quick. Plug it in. Oh, there's no outlet here.
Nice.
I go there.
I can't even see where I'm trying to plug this thing into.
What are you trying to do?
Just trying to connect the RGB board without removing the top radiator because I can do it or not.
We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Moment of truth. See if computer posts.
I'll turn it on.
Turn on right now.
Trying to get my fingers.
Cut by the fan blades.
Yeah, that's happened more than you think. Yeah, every time you would think that, oh, hey, don't stick your fingers near the fan blades. It's like, oh, I've been doing this long enough. I understand. And then what do? Stick my fingers near the fan blades. And what happens? I skin my knuckles. That's what happens. Ah, got it.
Nice battle scars.
Wait. I'm not done, man. Relax.
My bad. Unplug it in.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Power's off anyways. All right. So I guess we asked ChatGPT how we can tell it to post. None of those options worked.
I think
how we're gonna
a lot of those are like very generic IT ways. But if you're low tech and you have no extra monitor or extra tools, the easiest way is just turning it on and off. Or if you have a keyboard, you can connect the keyboard.
Oh yeah, I think that's what it said. Check for USB activity.
Oh yeah, never mind. You can do that. You can definitely do that.
Plug a USB device like a keyboard or mouse into the PC. If the device lights up or shows signs of power, example, keyboard numlock lights.
That also means it's accepting a command.
It could indicate that the system is posting and passing initial power checks.
Yep.
Yeah. We have a keyboard, but we're gonna do it our way. It's not hard. So we basically turn on, check if it lights up, right? So how we basically do it is after maybe 30 seconds?
You have some time.
Yeah. After 30 seconds.
You got any more news to talk about?
We press the power button again, and if it turns off immediately, then it's basically accepting the command, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we know it works.
If it didn't post, it won't turn off.
Yeah.
And it'll just like hang.
Just turn off?
No, I didn't press anything.
Oh, it was in a power loop or something, I guess.
Oh, Intel does that.
Yeah.
So also, well, for
that...
first post, most Intel will do it. I don't know if everyone does. It turns off and then turns back on again. So that is normal. Very, very normal.
Can you press the button to open up the sidebar? Yeah. Just so they could see it. More news, you said? Speaking of Intel Core Ultra got announced, released.
Oh no. Let's wait a little bit longer.
Well, I guess it's not posting. I mean,
Maybe
what would
it's taking some time. Maybe it just needs some more time.
if it? I mean, if it does, if it doesn't, then what would you suspect it is?
Um, well, it turned on, so maybe not the power supply, right? Start with the easy stuff, like checking all the connections, making sure everything is plugged in, and then you can move on to replacing things or removing things as needed, right? You if anything, you start with like all your extra power. So if you have hard drives, SSDs, or RGB boards or commanders
Blessings.
or whatever, right? You just unplug those to remove those as a factor, because sometimes they can cause systems not to post. I mean, if you have any extra PCIe cards, remove those. Remove your GPU. If you have integrated graphics on your CPU, right? You just remove everything so that you can narrow down the issue. Because if you remove something and then you try to turn it on and it does post, whatever you just removed, most likely the problem.
Or the simple answer: don't use ChatGPT to build your computer.
Yeah, watch Linus.
What do you think it is, though? It's hard to tell.
Nothing. I think it's working. Or it's not.
There's no motherboard QR code or
Nope. Got nothing. All right, let me see. So there is a light. It's just yeah. So that's the light they're talking about. So not posted. What could it be? Maybe the RAM's not seated all the way. Maybe I missed the plug of some sort. But double check my connections. Plug everything in.
But what does that light mean, though?
It depends on the motherboard and the chipset, but fast blinking like that just means it didn't post.
Okay.
So
it doesn't tell you, like,
you need to refer to the motherboard like manufacturer, not because the manual probably won't tell you. The manufacturer will tell you what those blinking lights mean. One more time. What needs to be plugged in? What do we forget? I feel like we did forget something though.
Still flashing.
Relax. All right, well, I checked my connections. Ah, see? Very good. Maybe something was loose.
What'd you do? Press the RAM in, or?
Yeah, I just pushed the stuff in more. So now it... Ta-da! Sometimes it's not easy, so don't freak out when your computer doesn't post. Just run through your checklist again. Check all your connections, and then...
Very cool. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, so just check your connections, and then if that doesn't work, start unplugging things.
In a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is not reliable whatsoever and 10 is reliable, how would you rate ChatGPT?
If you're only using ChatGPT, probably like a 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah, it's not.
Is that bad?
Yeah. It didn't even tell us to put on the AIO. If we didn't know to ask it to do that, we wouldn't have done it, right? Like that's like.
But I think a typical person would see that and then they would ask, like they'll do the steps that we took. They'll know to ask that when that time comes, right?
Maybe, but like if a typical person didn't know anything and they were just doing things, they're like, oh, okay, cool, the radiator's installed. That's gonna cool my CPU. The fans are right next to the CPU, so I guess it'll be fine, right? Like. Maybe that thing is just a thermometer, temperature probe.
I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to tell because I wasn't actually building it. I was just kind of reading. But from what I read, it seemed, I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Because it does go over some like important steps, some like key details, right?
If
the thing is, the thing is like all these steps are kind of based off the prompt we give. So maybe when I was putting in the prompt, I wasn't like specific enough.
But I mean, I think at the end of the day, it is a very good tool to use with your manual.
It's a supplement, right? It's it shouldn't be relied on.
Yeah.
Like definitely use it with motherboard manuals, AIO manuals, and all that. So.
I think it knows it too, because like a lot of times it tells you to refer to the manual, because like the manual is going to have the most accurate depictions of everything, right?
And I'm sure like
photos.
Even if you don't have the manual, for example, like us, we could ask it, and it'll pull up a guide, to kind of like walk us through.
You definitely shouldn't use it on its own, but you should, if you do use it in conjunction with like other resources like videos or I don't know,
It's always good to get a second opinion, I guess. Never
Third,
rely on one
fourth.
source for anything. I think it was cool. I mean, it was helpful. It's definitely
Yeah, I was
helpful.
really impressed with the what's it called, the like the little details of installing the CPU cooler, right? Like that sort of stuff. Sometimes the manual does go over it, right? But not every time. Not every single manual tells you, oh, you should install, diagonally, crisscross or whatever. And then the manuals will just be like, just install the screws.
Yeah.
And then you just do it however you want.
I like how it simplifies some stuff too, like installing the RAM. It's just 2 and 4 instead of like A1 or.
I think that one's also pretty easy to mix up.
That was pretty cool. I mean, there are definitely some good steps involved. Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to trash ChatGPT or whatever, but
hey, I pay for it, man. It's good. It writes my emails.
Oh yeah, so I guess that's one asterisk we should mention is that this is the paid response. It might be different for
the free one is slower, right?
But would it be like as detailed? Do you know?
Not sure.
Yeah.
All I know is like it's a little bit slower than like when it's creating the responses, it's a little bit slower. But
so
I mean, I pay for it because like it's really good at. I can just type something in, and I'd be like, hey, can you make this a little bit more professional?
Do you use it? So use it. You obviously use it for work, right? But do you use it for like personal life or anything?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. Like recently, I got headphones, and then I asked it to help me make an EQ for it because I'm not so great at that. I know what I want things to sound like, but I don't know how to adjust them. So it was like a good starting point. Like, oh, okay, like
okay.
I was like, oh, the voices sound weird. It's like, oh, just these hertz. And I was like, oh, those are the ones that control voice.
Maybe our next stream. I don't know if we could take this exact PC, but we could ask it. Hey, can you overclock the PC for us? Make a stable overclock setting for us. Let's ask that right now and see what happens.
Oh, really? You should have read it out to us.
Could you make a stable overclock reset?
So okay, Paul asked, I wonder if AI could make overclocking.
I just asked it, could you make a stable overclock preset for the 1400K?
Ensure you have a high quality AIO cooler like a 360. Update the latest BIOS. Okay. It does not give you any sort of details, right? Or oh no, it does.
Set AI overclock tuner to manual, then change core ratio to sync all cores. Start with a conservative clock speed, increase such as 5.2 for all cores.
Before we get any more further in this, I just want to be really clear on my opinion on overclocking. Unless you're going for like world records, it's basically useless now. You're not going to get that much more performance out of your CPU or GPU. Like, it's not worth it. Yeah. You're also pumping way more heat through whatever you have.
It's definitely for enthusiasts. But if you're like super into min-maxing your hardware and you want the most out of, the most performance out of it, people usually overclock, but I think for average person, it's not really noticeable. It's not necessary.
For enthusiasts, I don't think it's worth it, man. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just my opinion, right? Yeah. But if I'm going to make my room hotter, also all of my components hotter, at the risk of shortening their lifespan for, let's just say, maybe 2 to 3% increase in performance, it's definitely not worth it. Like,
that's fair enough, yeah.
But
I mean,
if you want to, that's all for you.
For ChatGPT, it does go over some pretty detailed stuff.
Yeah, that's all the settings you need for that.
Yeah, it talks about going over CPU voltage, load line calibration, AVX offset, power limits, ring ratio.
So maybe it's definitely a good starting point.
You could, for for the person who asked in chat, you could definitely use it as a guide.
Use it on your phone because your computer's going to crash when you do these.
Yeah. But
you're also going to go through a lot of like no posts, reset sequence.
Yeah.
No post.
Just go through
instability.
Go through overclocking with like some caution because you could like hard lock your computer if something goes wrong. So
Also, you'll probably get really frustrated.
yeah,
Right.
but I mean, it's fun to kind of adjust these settings. You know, I do it on my computer. I overclock my. Well, actually,
I underclock mine too.
Well, I didn't underclock it. I undervolted my CPU. But yeah, kind of going through the BIOS and playing with these settings, it's pretty fun if you're into that type of stuff. So, and yeah, ChatGPT could be a quick and easy guide.
We also live in a great time of there's YouTube videos for everything,
Yeah,
and like some of them not very informative. Other ones are very informative, and they just go into depth on everything. Find your favorite, influencer and watch them.
did you have a question, Irvin? I thought you were
I
raising
think
your
it's
hand.
stretching.
All right, I mean, I think we could call it here.
Sure.
How do you guys feel?
It's good. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's definitely good. Like if somebody asks me to help them build a computer over FaceTime again, I'm just gonna tell them go to ChatGPT and use it with your manual, because I did help somebody build the
For that
computer
specific
over
scenario.
You said a 2. You give it a 2 out of 10.
Did I say 2?
Yeah, you said
Oh,
yeah.
well, by itself, no. Use it with your manuals. You should not use it by itself.
And if you have someone like Ernest, you have ChatGPT, your manuals, plus Ernest. That's 3 sources
Nope.
you could go to.
I'm not taking my work home.
Even
I've helped someone build their computer over FaceTime, and in my mind, I thought it would be like a 1 or 2 hour thing. It ended up being 5 hours.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I could have just driven to their house and helped them do it, and then been back faster. It was not fun.
I
A
like
lot
it.
of this, like, hey, can you move me to the left? No, that thing. And I'm pointing at the screen. He can't even see what I'm pointing at.
I like it. All right. Well, I think we're good for this week live stream.
Yep.
As always, thanks guys for joining. We'll be here next week. I think next week, I don't want to say what we're going to do because we're not too sure yet. But it'll probably be another live build or horror game gameplay, since it's Halloween that week.
That week or next the week? Oh, I guess, yeah.
Halloween's on Thursday next week, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll come dressed up in our costumes. Maybe we'll wear our costumes 2 days in a row,
no.
smelling all
Halloween's on, like,
funky.
Wednesday, the following week.
It's not.
Next Friday is the 25th.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. So in 2 weeks. Oh, next week we can show off
We'll figure out what we're gonna do next week,
the
and then the
Intel
week
CPU.
after.
I got a lot in my mind
Something
right
will
now.
happen though.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.